shy about the fact that you don't feel like this is the type of fight that you wanted. You haven't backed down from that. You still feel that way now that we're here in fight week?
When you found out you were fighting Iaquinta instead of Henderson, what went through your mind?
I was just like bummer, you know. Obviously, I wanted Henderson. He's a world champion, ex-world champion, ranked number 5. It's no disrespect to Iaquinta. I think he's a talented dude, and I haven't said that about many dudes in the division. But it's just not the fight I wanted, you know. He can take it however the fuck he wants, but I'm gonna whoop his ass regardless. You know?
Is that because you win, you're still ranked ahead of him, you lose, and you lost to a guy who was ranked below you? Is that the idea?
This should be my PR guy right here.
Still, do you believe that, like, is there anything to gain reputationally from beating him?
I don't know about that, you know. You gotta ask that to fans, right? You know? I mean, me beating him in the UFC, I'm gonna do and give it everything I got because it moves me to 4-0. It moves me eventually closer to where I want to be, you know. So, to me, everything's on the line in this fight, like if I was fighting for a world championship, you know.
Fair enough.
What does he bring to the? What do both of you guys bring to the table?
I don't watch tape, so I don't know what he brings to the table. But you know, I bring everything to the table. I can wrestle, I can box, I can kick, I can punch. You know, I'm ready to do it all, man.
When I asked Al earlier, he said he's watched tape of you. When I asked him if he watched the old YouTube tapes of you, do you think the perception is from other fighters of a guy who, you know, first made his mark fighting on YouTube? And did that experience, give you any type of experience that helps you with what you do now?
I guess so. I mean, they only captured like 2 videos of me in backyards, but I grew up doing that, so I guess to a certain extent it's an advantage, you know, that I have, you could say, or not. I don't know, but to me, that don't really matter. You know, I was gonna kick his ass regardless, you know, whether I did those fights or not. You know.
He called you the real life Kimbo Slice. Is that a compliment or?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Kimbo Slice is a tough dude, but he's not like a.
Well, he said
like
dude. He said because you had successfully made a career out of it, you were like the real version of him.
Yeah, I guess yeah. That's what he's trying to say. Yeah, I guess, you know.
What was the advantage? You say you did advantage. What was the advantage this game?
The only advantage you get when you get in street fights, you don't know if your partner's gonna jump in with a knife and stab me, you know, or pull a gun out of me. Going into the UFC, you don't have that stress. You know, you're just worried about fighting. If anything happens, there's doctors, there's a medical team on the side, so it's like a big. You know, that's the only thing I could think of that gives you an advantage, you know.
Jorge, has the UFC ever asked you to do any like promotional tours in Latin America, or
no?
Would you like to be a part of that?
Yeah, I speak fluent Spanish. That's my first tongue, you know.
So why hasn't that happened for you yet?
Ask Dana. I don't know.
They opened up the relations with Cuba. I know you're before Cuban. Is that something that you would ever be interested in going down there and fight, or is that not something?
Yeah, if I could ever fight for my Cuban public, man, I'd love it. I'd jump on in a heartbeat, you know.
But just to circle back, if they asked you, let's say you win this fight, and they asked you, we want you to coach in the next Latin American Ultimate Fighter, you'd be interested? 2 thumbs up
for my Latin public, anything, man. For my Latin, they've always been there from the beginning. Before anybody knew me, since my street fighting days, my Hispanic community has always supported me. From all backgrounds, wherever they came from, South America, the Caribbean, they've always supported me. So if I could give love back, I sure will.
Would you take a fight that you weren't the most interested in to fight in, let's say, Mexico or other parts of Spanish-speaking Latin America?
Yeah.
Depending?
Why not? You know, the way it's going right now, it's like probably be another Ultimate Fighter. So what could I do anyways, right? You know. So.
How do you stay up for a fight like this that you didn't want and that you haven't been that keen on? What's the mindset in training camp leading up to this if you're not that thrilled about it?
Get paid, man. I got kids, I gotta feed them, you know, so I gotta get paid, man. Whether he gives me that like rise to get up early in the morning or not, I'm still gonna do it because I gotta get paid. I gotta put food on the table.
Jorge, do you believe if someone said Jorge Masvidal's a great fighter, he might even win on Saturday, but he starts slow, what would you say?
I'd say yeah, he's seen a couple fights of me.
Why do you start slow then?
I don't know, man. It's I don't know. Maybe bad weight cut. Maybe sometimes I'm not like I'm a little. I don't get like since the beginning. I've never gotten like nervous or had fear before the fight. You know, I wish I had a little bit of that. Maybe right before the fight, so I could have that adrenaline dump. I don't really get that. You know, I try to pump myself up, but I'm always just like how I am now. Is right before I fight. You know.
You mentioned your kids a minute ago.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fighting on Easter weekend away from home. Is that something that you've thought about? Is that one of the reasons why this is that bigger deal?
Kind of, yeah, but at the same time, I wanted to fight because I fought in like 2 blood wounds already. This will be the 3rd one, so it's like my good luck charm, you know. All praise be to God while I'm talking on the subject.
To what extent do you think? I mean, from the looks of it, you're much bigger than he is. Is this a skills issue, or do you think that the difference in size will ultimately play some kind of factor in the outcome?
The difference in size will definitely play a factor, but is it factor? But man, it's gonna be my experience, my speed, my power, my awkwardness. You know, he's gonna punch, I'm not gonna be there, and then I'm gonna be there when he doesn't expect it. You know, I think that's what's really gonna carry me to the win. If he tries to wrestle, my weight will play a huge factor, and he'll wear out a lot quicker. You know, which I don't think he's gonna wrestle at all with me.
True or false? You make better adjustments in a fight than he does.
Oh, super true.
Why is it super true? Not just true. Why is it super true?
You'll see April 4th.
Is that something you pride yourself on? Like, okay, between rounds, I'm going to adjust this and take this away from him.
But you know, I could strike real well and I could wrestle real well. I don't feel there's anybody in the division that I can't take down. Maybe they could get back up on me. There's a couple good wrestlers that'll pop back up, but I feel I can take anybody down in the division. So if things don't go my way, understanding like I've done in the past, I'll just start taking them down. You know, and I know for a fact he can't stop my takedown.
How's the weight cut? I mean, you look like a big 55.
Yeah.
What are you weighing in right now? What do you come into camp at, and what do you do to get from point A to point B where you're going to make weight on?
A lot of fasting, running, swimming. I do a lot of cardio on a day. Every day I do cardio about an hour to 2 hours. My weight class, if I was like in boxing, I'd be 160 pounder, but I'm not a 70 pounder, and for the last 3-4 years, I really haven't been a 55 pounder. So I just got to do a lot of cardio, keep my weight low, you know.
What are you weighing right now?
Right now, probably like 68, 67.
What you coming to camp at?
In camp, I started camp at 185.
So how are you going to drop that 13 pounds, 12 pounds?
I always do, just run and put the sauna suit on and run and hit pads and just sweat it off.
Jorge, I asked Iaquinta this, I'll ask you the same. Were you surprised what happened between Pettis and Dos Anjos?
In certain aspects of it, yeah. I thought Pettis with the kicks and the size might do better, but I knew that Dos Anjos had the slight better wrestling from watching them both fight, and I knew he was a little tighter with the hands. I was surprised to the extent that he whooped him, but Pettis is tough, man. He took a ass whooping there.
Do you think Nurmagomedov is the next one to face him? I mean, he has to get through Cerrone, but do you think he'll win?
Him and Cerrone is an interesting fight. I think if he gets off first, which Cerrone usually has slow starts as well, I think Magomedov will be able to take the decision, you know?
And what about against Dos Anjos for a second time?
I don't think Dos Anjos improved anything on his defensive wrestling, so I say the same thing happens unless he catches him, you know? If he catches him, everything changes.
So there's a fight for free in backyards. There's a fight this summer where two guys are going to make $300 million. Mayweather Pacquiao. As far as what these guys are getting paid, what you guys are getting paid, or what you didn't get paid, way back.
That goes through my head every day.
What goes through your head?
I want millions. I wanna have $25 million a fight, you know. So I just gotta work my way to it, you know. Just make sure I keep kicking ass, and I put myself in that stage of one day cashing on those big checks.
Why did you do it for free? Because you just love it.
And when I was in the backyards, a lot of those fights, I was real humble beginnings. I would bet, you know, somebody would be like, look, I got a friend that'll kick your ass, and I'll be like, he wants to put money, then we could do it, you know. And so would put $1,000, I put $1,000, so I'd make money, you know. I wasn't fighting.
Did you make money against Ray and all that?
Yeah, you know, on the back end of it, yeah, I made money. You know, I never showcased my talents for free either. You know.